Hello, this is video 3 for Chapter 2, Section 3, Math0302 Beginning Algebra. In this video, we're going to do 3/5 x minus 2 is equal to 2/3 x minus 1. Now, before we do anything, I'm expecting most of you are probably freaking out about the idea of working with fractions in the problem like this. You're probably freaking out about having fractions in the last video, but this one's probably even worse because it's staring at you in the face as soon as you look at the problem. Here's the problem with this. Your brain, as soon as you start freaking out, starts misfiring. That means that you're literally incapable of thinking through something like you should. So the first rule of mathematics, and pretty much anything in life, is don't freak out. Okay, so take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and now let's do this problem. The reason you're freaking out is because there are fractions here. There don't have to be. We can actually get rid of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this problem and ask myself, what are the common denominators? Well, we have a 5 and we have a 3. If you have a 5 and a 3 in the denominator, the least common denominator between those two numbers is 15. Here's how you can tell. Take the largest number, 5. Does 3 go into 5? No. Well, go up to the next multiple of 5, which is 10. Does 3 go into 10? No. Then go to the next multiple of 5. So does 3 go into 15? Yes. That's how you can tell that 15 is the least common denominator between the denominators. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply every term in here by that LCD, which is 15. So I'm going to take this and multiply this by 15, take this and multiply this by 15, multiply this term by 15, and multiply this term by 15. So every term gets multiplied by 15. Now, when you have fractions like this, we do the division first. The reason why is because you're going to have to simplify anyway. Or if you think about it, it's over 1 and you're going to simplify before you multiply anyway. So 15 divided by 5, excuse me, let me erase those two. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and I'm going to multiply by the numerator, which is 3x. And then here it's just 15 times 2, so that's minus 30, is equal to, again, 15 divided by 3 is 5 times the numerator, 2, and then I'm just going to put the x in there, minus 15 times 1, which is good 15. Now, multiply, combine like terms, and solve. So 3 times 3 is 9, so it gives me 9x. Minus 30 is equal to 5 times 2x, which is 10x, minus 15. Now, here's the thing. This equation and this equation are equivalent, which means that they have the same solution set. What's nice is that with this equation, I'm hoping you're not going to freak out. This one, you might freak out a little bit. I don't want you to, but you know, that's the way things are. So with this one, it's a lot easier to see. Now, most people would still just subtract 10x from both sides, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just subtract 9x from both sides. So the 9x goes away. So I'm left with negative 30 is equal to 10 minus 1, which is just 1, so that's 1x, or just x, minus 15. Now, let me say something. If you write the 1, it's not incorrect. But there's a problem here. We don't ever write the 1. It's an understood one. You'll never really see me do it, so I'm asking you, please don't do it yourself. Now we have the minus 15 here, which means we need to bring it to the other side. And then bringing it to the other side means we do the opposite, which is addition. So we're going to add 15 to both sides here. So negative 30 plus 15, opposite sign, so we subtract. 30 minus 15 is 15. Now, the sign is going to be negative. So negative 15 equals x. Okay. Now, we do need to check this. Okay, so I'm actually going to kind of put this kind of in a box here. So we have 3/5 x minus 2 is equal to 2/3 x minus 1. So that means that 3/5 times x, which was negative 15, minus 2 is equal to 2/3 x, which is negative 15, and then minus 1. Now notice that this is over 1 over 1, and that 5 goes into 15, so it means that that's a 1 and that's a 3, and 3 goes into 15, that's a 1 and that's a 5. So multiplying, we get 3 times negative 3, which is negative 9, minus 2, is equal to 2 times negative 5, which is negative 10, minus 1. And then actually just do the addition and subtraction. So negative 9 minus 2 is negative 11. Negative 10 minus 1 is negative 11 as well. That means that 15 is in fact the solution set, and there is your solution.